today we are doing this beautiful live with a very special guest with us on our show. Basically, it was intended to be on my Instagram, but technical things happens. So we are doing on her live. So she's a certified life coach and a law of attraction practitioner. She has trained over 300 plus students. She's having 5+ years of experience in this field, and you know what the beautiful fact about her is, she helps people to look better, feel better, and actually start their beautiful fitness journey through the practice of spiritual practices, law of attraction, manifestation. And she's on this beautiful mission to help people live a life of abundance through the power of self-love. So thank you for being on my show. It's a great honor and a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. You are a sweetheart, and I love that intro. You are giving it for the second time, so I really appreciate your effort, Gargi. Love you for that. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, great. So let's start with the interview. Okay, so my first question is, from where did it all start? Like, what was that triggering point in your life which started you on this journey?
Okay, so I was into depression. I was suicidal. Now, uski pieche bhi there is a deep story, but I'll not go deep into it. But yes, there was a point in my life that was my lowest low, and the spiritual world is called dark night of the soul, where I was in the darkest phase of my life, and I realized that I don't want to exist anymore. I was having existential crisis. I was like, why am I here? And then I realized that I hate myself so much that I want to kill myself. And that was the point, the turning point, you can say. After that, everything changed for me. I started meditating, I started my self-love journey, and that's how I eventually became a self-love coach. So yes, the trigger point was my depression phase, or the suicidal thoughts that used to come, because of which I realized that I haven't loved myself enough to live. And then I started to live.
Super awesome. I think both of our stories are, similar, because how I started was because I went through depression, and then I started practicing self-love. Then I came into this industry. So great to see that. Super inspiring. My next question to you is, what does self-love actually mean for you?
Okay, so self-love is basically loving the self. Now, people don't understand what the self is. You are actually not just this body. You are so much more than what you see yourself in the mirror. The body, the mind, the emotions that you carry, the path that you carry, the energy that you have, the soul that is there inside your body. All of this is you. And for me, loving everything about you, even if it's your past, even if it's your experience, even if it's your mind, your body, everything about you is the self. And once you embrace that self, you realize that it's okay to accept me the way I am, because I'm perfect just the way I am. And then once you accept yourself, you are able to love yourself. And that is, for me, is true self-love. When you realize that true authentic self inside of you, because each one of us has God within us, right? We are not God, but we are godly, definitely, because a fraction of God is inside of us. So once I realized that in my spiritual journey, I realized that I should give myself so much more love than I would have ever given previously. In fact, I didn't, because I wanted to kill myself at one point of time, and I realized that I had never loved myself enough. I was just, okay. Like, I was just doing okay in my life. And once my self-love journey started, I realized that there is so much more to me than what I see. So yes, that for me is true self-love, where you accept yourself completely, every part of you.
Awesome. So when you accept each and every part of you, that's called self-love. My next question to you is, a lot of us, we go through, a lot of the people, they go through a lot of trauma in the past, and because of it, we have heard our mentors saying, and we ourselves have experienced it, that whenever a pain is there, some part of us gets left there. So at the last, we are not able to actually accept our own reality and our own self. So at these point of times, how can someone overcome these kind of feelings?
So the best way to go about it is that you basically like put the story on a sheet of paper. You gotta write it down. What actually happened? Because in your mind, when you like remember those bad memories or those negative experiences, they have a different shape or form in your mind. But when you put it on a paper, you see a different perspective. You're able to understand that you get that clarity of what actually happened, where I was wrong, why am I labeling myself like this, or what was the mistake of that person, right? So when it's on paper, it actually has a different energy. But when it's here, it's chaos, right? And then you start judging yourself, you label yourself, you go into depression, you feel the pain. But when it's on paper in front of you, there is so much more clarity about what exactly happened and how you can overcome it. There are multiple ways, of course, to overcome it. You can do healing, you can do meditation, you can do journaling, you can do manifestation, you can learn, self-help books. There is so much that you can do after you have clarity about what exactly happened once it's on paper. So that's the best way to go about it. That's the first step that you can take.
Awesome, great. Thank you so much for adding that point, because I feel the same, that until and unless the things are here, these are all our own stories that we form. But when we actually write it on paper, then we understand that this is the reality and what's going on inside is not the reality. So thank you for adding that point. My next question to you is, there are some misconceptions and myths that people have regarding this topic of law of attraction or self-love. So would you like to throw light on it?
Yes, totally. A very good question, by the way. So first of all, I want to talk about self-love. I'm a self-love coach, so we'll talk about that first. So in terms of self-love, yes, there are a lot of misconceptions where people judge self-love. They think that self-love is basically being selfish or being self-obsessed, which is not true. So true meaning of self-love is where you understand that you are love, and everything basically that you look outside is also love. Like basically you are in so much alignment with yourself that you see the oneness that is there in the universe. So that is how that is where I had this defining moment in my life where I wanted to become a self-love coach, because I saw a beggar and I just looked at that beggar and I said I love you. And that happened multiple times, right? And then I asked myself this question: why am I feeling so much love towards everyone? And that's where it popped up in my mind that because I have so much love inside, now it's overflowing. So I thought, how would it feel if everyone in this world would actually operate from this love for their own self, that their cup is so full, it's now overflowing, right? So when it comes to self-love, you give that love to your own self, but that love is also flowing to everyone around you, not only people but also situations, everything that you do in your life, that love is flowing. But when it comes to self-obsession or selfishness, that is always a win-lose situation, where you are at the receiving end of it or you're at the benefit of it versus someone else. Like, it's not a win-win situation. Self-love will always give you a win-win situation, but self-obsession or selfishness will give you a win-lose situation, right? So that would be the one biggest clarification between these two things. Then next point you mentioned about law of attraction. Yes, law of attraction also a lot of people have, like in my own family, my sister used to doubt me, my friends used to laugh at these concepts that I used to share with them. Now that they see the results, first way to like prove to people is like show the results. Don't like try to explain them stuff, which I realized the hard way. The next thing that that is there to prove is that simple, it's a law. So just like any other law, this is also at work. Even if you don't have any awareness of law of gravity, does not mean that you start flying, right? The law of gravity is at play all the time. Similarly, law of attraction, whether you think of it or you work with it or not, it is at play. Now it depends on you, once you become aware of this concept, how you're using it towards your own like benefit and creating your own beautiful life. So yes, law is a law. Whether you believe it or not, it is
super awesome, great. While she's speaking, all of you, I would love for each one of you to just write down I am abundant or I am fearless affirmations like these, leading me to this next question, that a lot of people don't know what affirmations are and what huge impact they can have on our life if we practice them fully on a daily basis. So you can just answer this too.
About affirmations, right? So yes, affirmations played a major role in my life. I have YouTube videos on my own affirmations, self-love affirmation and all. Because affirmations is what? See, people don't understand that everything that you say is an affirmation. When you say, I can do it, or when you say, I can't do it, right? Henry Ford said, either way you're right. Because you're affirming it to be so. So everything, even when people say affirmations don't work for me, that itself is an affirmation. So everything that you say, every thought that you're thinking is in itself is an affirmation. But how your affirmations become, like how you use affirmations to manifest is repetition, right? So affirmations का basic जो formula है, why we use affirmations is we want to repeat those sentences again and again, positive जो statements हैं. So when we say continuously that I am a money magnet, I am a money magnet, right? You continuously say that. So that becomes your belief, and your belief will then play out. So how a belief becomes a belief? The affirmation that you say is a thought that you keep thinking, and a thought that you keep thinking becomes a belief. So once it's a part of a belief system, it will play out. So that's how you're able to use this technique of affirmations. And the best time to do affirmations is when I also do it when I wake up in the morning or before sleeping. That's the best time to do it because your subconscious is most active at that time, so it's most receptive, right? So at that time, whatever you say to your subconscious mind, it will take it, and then from your 90% of your life is happening from your subconscious mind. So you gotta hit the main root, right? So that is your subconscious mind. So once you reprogram subconscious mind, it will start to play out in your life. So affirmations are used basically to change your beliefs.
Awesome. So affirmations, as we talked about this, I would love for all of you to, write down in the chat box, I am abundant, because what we are doing here is with a powerful woman, we are learning to become abundant through the power of self-love. So my next question to you is, a lot of people, even I believe this, that thinking positive always doesn't work when we are going through the negative circumstances in our life. So at that point of time, it said that in order to heal it, you need to feel it. So how can, someone, rather than just thinking positive when someone is not able to in times of negativity, so what is the approach that they can follow and not give up?
Okay, very good question again, Gargi. Loving your question. So I think the best way to go about this is when you say think positive. It's not possible, like you mentioned, you are actually having a lot of pain, you are struggling, you are having challenges in your life, and when someone comes and tell you be positive, it can be irritating and make someone cringe, right? नहीं हो रहा. तो क्या करना चाहिए? The best way to do is, it's a hack that I also use, that you step out of the situation. Okay, so it's like taking a third person perspective, where you are just simply observing or noticing yourself. So you're not this emotion, right? Whenever हमें क्या anger होता है या pain feel होता है, we don't become this emotion. We think that I am sad. This itself is an affirmation, right? You are labeling yourself as sad. Why would you? So instead of becoming that emotion or feeling that emotion too much, don't dwell into it. Just acknowledge it, accept it. Okay, I'm feeling angry. Okay, I'm feeling anxious. Okay, I'm feeling stressed. Then you move out of it. Then you simply take a step out of your body in your mind. Okay, how am I feeling? Why this is happening? You take a basically a third eye perspective, and then you observe the situation. You observe yourself, right? And then you're able to overcome that situation in a much graceful way and much faster also. Because unless you are out of it, you won't be able to help yourself. But when you are dwelling into it, it will only put you in that loop of feeling that pain over and over again. So the best hack that I can give is step out of it. Step out of your body, in your mind, take a new perspective, observe yourself, become an observer to how you are feeling, and then all of a sudden you will start realizing that answers are coming to you and solutions are coming.
Super inspiring answer that, step out of that game, feel it in order to heal it. So my next question to you is, when you started, there might be so many challenges that you yourself faced. So when you look back at those right now, how do you feel? And also, what were those challenges and how did you deal with them?
Okay, again, thank you for that question. I had a lot of challenges. I had financial challenges. I had encouragement challenges. I had no support. So I was actually making money out of making videos. So I was hardly making 20,000 rupees at that time, and I wanted to start my coaching business. But at that time, nobody supported me. Like I had relatives telling me that you look like a small kid. Why would anyone, come and get coached by you? कि तू जाके जॉब कर ले, लेकिन तू बच्ची लगती है तेरे से कोई, and you should understand this very well because you are also a very very young coach. So I'm sure like you've also had those kind of opinions coming to you. So that happened with me as well, and also in terms of financial this thing, I had no idea like how I can make money right now. I wanted to invest in my business. At that time, I felt very demotivated, but at the same time there was this faith inside of me that this is what I'm supposed to do. So things started to align. Like I saw an ad of becoming a life coach, and then I was like, this is what I want to do. I still remember when I had to sign up for a life coaching certification for 2.5 lakhs. I had no account in my I had no money in my account. I swiped my mom's credit card, and then my dad and my sister were there creating a scene that why did you sign up? Take a refund. How can you take a decision like that? And I went to the bathroom and I cried. Literally, I was so overwhelmed and embarrassed at that time. But I was like, no, I will not give in. I will not listen to them. I know this is my soul's purpose. This is my journey. I want to become a life coach. And somehow I managed to pay the amount. I started doing a part-time job, and I struggled my day, but it was fun. So in the beginning, and it's the case with everyone. That's the hero journey, right? At that time, when you are building something, nobody will come and encourage you. Nobody will come and like maybe one or two people. In my case, it was just one friend, right? So even my family, none of them were actually encouraging me. They were sort of supporting me by not telling me every day कि job कर ले. That was the only thing because that would have annoyed me. And वो भी था एक time पे moment आ गया था where there was some kind of financial dip in our family, and my sister was like, why don't you feel the responsibilities to take up a job? And I was on the verge of taking a job. And I know that I hate jobs, okay? And I knew that if I take a job right now, I will again be stuck in that loop where it will be difficult for me to start again and come out of it, right? And I didn't take a job. Somehow things just aligned for me. It started to work out, and today I'm here. So if you do not give up, if you have faith in your own self, let people say what they have to say because they are coming from their own experiences and they will not believe you. Today when they see, even my relatives, who were not supporting me, were always like mocking me. Today, they are the ones who are cheering for me the most. Like in our WhatsApp family group, they are the ones who are sending my pictures. They are the ones who are actually, applauding me, commenting on my posts. So you basically feel good later on, but this time you have to take that shit and fuel. You basically got to use that as a fuel. So all your haters, all your people who are not encouraging you, your people who are non-supporters, you should use them as a fuel to move forward in your journey. So yeah, that was my
agree with you too, because when I started, till today I receive a lot of criticism, but what you said right now, that you have to use your criticism as a fuel, that to prove not only them but also yourself, that if people feel that this is impossible, let me recreate and reframe that line that it is possible for me. So thank you so much for adding that point. My next question to you is, any success mantra you follow in your life which has got you here?
I was getting a call. Yes. Actually, every year I have a mantra. So this year mantra is like the perfect one that I want to say, which I write every day in my planner. That mantra is, you can either have excuses or results, not goals. So this is something which I learned in my fitness journey. जो जिम में लगा होता है posters में, या मैंने पता नहीं कहाँ motivational quote ही है जिम का ही. So I made it my mantra. Like I can either have my excuses or results, not both. So whenever I find myself giving myself excuses, I repeat this mantra to myself. Shruti, what do you want? Do you want the results or do you want the excuses? And I'm like, no, I want the results. And then you go towards that action step that you need to take. So yes, that's the best mantra I can say right now. You can either have results.
I agree with you. Either you have to, either you want to produce results or you want to go towards excuses. So that's your choice. Great thing. And my last question to you is, any last message you will have for all of us to share?
Okay. So actually, I did have a message, but मुझे literally अभी channel हुआ है message just now, which is in alignment with what I do, and that message is, love is the only medicine you need. Like love, like conquers all. Love is the only, and this is something that my own student told me day before when he shared his testimony. Like one message that you wrote in one of your creatives where you said love is the only medicine we need. It's so true. I was like, yes, it's so true. You're right. Thank God you're like realizing it. And this is like the biggest message I want to give to everyone, that love is the only medicine we need. In the end, it all comes down to love. It all comes down to self-love for that matter, because everything is coming from your inner world and then it's being reflected to the outer world. So how you feel inside. So like self-love का basic जो फंडा है वो यही है कि if you want, like you want a better relationship, you want a better lifestyle, you want better finances, you want growth, right? Whatever you want to manifest into your life. Why? Because you love yourself. And when this is broken, then of course you will have problems in your life manifesting that, right? You will not feel worthy of it. So it all comes down to self-love. When you love yourself, everything else will be taken care of. Everything else is sorted, because here there is harmony, outside there will be harmony. So yes.
That was so beautiful. That was such a beautiful line, that inside there is harmony and outside there is family. So great line. Thank you for adding that. And
Thank you
like
so
at
much.
last, the only thing I want to say you is it was a pleasure to meet you personally in VR in Chennai, and now from there to conducting a live with you, and I think it was because you also came live after a long time and I too did. So I think it was a God's
Yes.
punishment that you don't have to, you have to stay
Bilkul.
consistent on lives. So thank you so much for coming, and
Exactly,
thanks to
exactly.
everyone who is watching this, because without you, we wouldn't be here.
Yes.
So thank you.
True, true, true. Thank you to all the viewers. Really means a lot to both of us. Gargi, I know that you've talked a lot of sweet things about me, but I want everybody to know about you as well. That you are just 16 years old and you are on a mission. You are like changing people's life. You are a coach at 16. You have this mission. You are really, really blessed. Like मेरे को genuinely लगता है कि people who are into this coaching industry or who are coaches or trainers or teachers, they are blessed, because we are actually helping and transforming people's life. It's a blessing to us, and you have realized that at a very, very young age. So congratulations, you inspired me really, and God bless you with all that you desire, and may you really succeed in your mission. And thank you for inviting me and starting this your podcast and Insta Live journey with me as the first speaker. So thank you, and I feel really blessed to be here.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.
God bless you all. Bye.